So as E3 2013 right around the corner, I'm sure a lot of us are hoping for a full reveal or proper announcement of Fire Emblem for the Switch, as we know will be releasing later this year. With that in mind, and stealing this idea a bit from Pavi's Productions, I want to make a little list of things I hope to see in Fire Emblem for the Switch. However, I'm slightly spinning it to an unoriginal angle, and also by stealing another idea I saw in another video. I'm going to be talking about features like that I would like to see either return or really don't want to return in existing games. So instead of thinking like, oh, what's like a brand new original setting? I'm not being original, because I'm shit. So I'm just going to talk about things that already exist that I'd like to either see return or just not. But however, to put a slight hole in this video and to slightly discredit it, I don't know if that's the right word, I've only played the 3DS titles, those obviously being Awakening, all three of the Fates routes, and Echoes. So if there was a cool feature in one of the many earlier titles, I'm afraid it won't be in this video because I have not played any of those games. Please don't crucify me. So I'm going to start the list with the feature I'd most like to see return, or continue I guess, and that is the game being fully voice acted. The voice acting in Echoes was such a welcome addition. Not only were the performances brilliant all around, but having the voice actors add an extra level of personality and character to, well, the characters. Instead of just getting a general tone for the sentence by a grunt or like a keyword that the character says, you got to hear their expression and tone on every single word, and it just made every character feel a little more unique and lively and make them sort of pop in their own way. I wouldn't even mind if the support conversations don't get fully voice acted, if it means that we still get the main story fully voice acted. And also, like, I don't mind if they don't get fully voice acted if we get more good supports. Because I remember, like, obviously, like, it was a remake of Fire Emblem 2, but I don't think there was a lot of support conversations in Echoes. So I don't mind if they don't do it for the supports, because obviously supports are quite lengthy, and that might just be too many, like, resources. But it was easily my favourite aspect, or feature I guess you could call it, of Echoes, and I'd love to see it return for the Switch game. Now this one's a bit of a personal gripe, but I really want them to go back, or once again continue, with unique weapon icons for all the weapons in the game. In Fates, none of the items felt like they had any life for them until you used them on the battlefield. I found this to be a real annoyance when it came with all of the tons of legendary weapons in the game. Like, how can these weapons like Reginto, Siegfried, and Fusion Yumi feel like these almost like mythical legendary weapons when their icons are the same as their bronze counterparts? It looks so samey and kind of dull and boring. While Echoes did have the unique weapon icons again, as it was a remake, it's not entirely easy to say whether it has gone back to that format or whether they're going to continue the Fates one for the Switch. I certainly like to see unique weapon icons return. Not only does it make finding a specific weapon easier to find in your barracks, but also just gives them a little more personality. Like, what can I say? I like some good visual imagery. Now, we all know that the gameplay style of the Switch game will most likely follow the format, I'm going to say set, but I guess more like refined into what Awakening and Fates are now. And out of those two, in terms of in-battle gameplay, I think I'd rather see Fates' refinement. As Awakening, as much as I love it, its pairing system was a bit overpowered and a bit over-reliant. Fates had a sort of slightly more fair and almost more strategic pairing system, in my opinion, giving the player the choice of giving units more offensive potential, but possibly leaving them more vulnerable as they're just by themselves, or you can pair the units for a more defensive playstyle with the stat boosts and the after so many turns they block and attack. And having the enemy units also be able to double your team also adds another layer of possible surprise and difficulty. And I don't think there's anything wrong with extra strategy in a strategy game. But as I said just a moment ago, I specifically said in-battle gameplay. That's because the Fates castle thing I thought was garbage. Just stick to the world map. I don't want this shit. This shit's dumb. For the next topic, I want to talk about child units, and child units as like an idea, I don't think is a bad thing. But only put child units in the game if it makes sense. Awakening made sense because the whole time travel with Lucina mumbo jumbo stuff. And I know earlier games worked on like a generation-based thing. But in Fates, the child units were just so painfully forced. It just didn't really make sense for them to be in the game. The deep run was weird and just a completely forced idea. And above all else, do not fucking reuse old characters from other games as clones for the child units. The shit's dumb as hell! I like that the child units of Awakening were like some of the retainers in Fates. That's a nice tie-in. But making clones of Tharja and Cordelia is just fucking dumb. Why are we doing this shit? Lastly, I'd like the game to keep up with the slightly more variety of battle objectives. Birthright especially fell into the sort of, hey, can you route the enemy? Hey mate, you know this one? Route the fucking enemy. Oh yeah, we got a new map for you, yeah? Route the enemy! And it just got a bit dull and repetitive, and I don't want the Switch game to fall into that same hole. Conquest did a better job of having a variety of objectives. Chapter 21 of Conquest is a chapter that really stuck out to me because of its objective. It wasn't just a get the fuck out of here, but it was get every single one out. This added with the Endless Faceless units made it feel a lot more like an army actually trying to escape, instead of just one guy bum rushing to the other side of the map, or just leaving his team behind, to be like, yep, cool, we out, fuck this shit. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was very different. I wanted to try something new. I'd been a bit, I don't know, burnt out a bit on the arena edits, but I will be going back to those, don't worry. I'm just needed to spark my editing flame again, if that's the way to phrase it. But anyway, as you've actually made it to the end of this video, I'm more likely to guess that you're probably a subscriber of mine. That's just a hunch, really, that you make it to the end. And another fact is, well, hopeful fact is that you hopefully don't find my voice too annoying. So that does lead into a question I would like to ask you, well, you who made it to the end, and all my subscribers, who may be you right now, and that is, if I made a Discord server, would you actually want to join it? After having some chat in the comments with a lovely guy by the name of Austin Terry, I thought about making one. I thought it'd be quite fun. It'd be really fun to just talk to you guys and like get to know you better. And so, where am I going with this? So, I will leave a straw poll in the description, or if you want, you can just leave a comment. I'll tally them all together. But with the answer to this, do be 100% honest, because, like, I don't... I'd rather not make a server than make a server and nobody joins, if that makes sense. I'm probably being really over-panicky about this. I'm sure people will be honest, regardless of what they say. Like, if you don't want to join a server because you're already part of, like, 20,000, like I kind of am, fully understand, that's cool, don't want to waste your time. But if you do, I think it'd be really nice. It could be a bit of fun, you know, why not? We could give it a go. So yeah, I'll leave that in the description, but other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Once again, I like to repeat myself because I am bad at English, and I guess I'll see you all probably in the next arena run.